If everyone could please take their seats, thank you very much. Good afternoon on behalf of Hospitality News Middle East. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the final conference of HORECA Connects. Thank you for joining us, and for our partners, Odema Consulting Services. Today's topic, the final topic, is about opportunities in times of crisis. And I'm sure the discussion will be very enlightening. Unfortunately, we have one panelist who's unable to join us, Joseph Ajouri. But in all cases, I'll hand over to our moderator, Naji Mouros of Odema Consulting Services. Naji, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you and welcome to HORECA Connect conferences. We're going to speak English because Olivier is one of the few French people that lives and invests in Lebanon, and so voilà, ما راح يحكي عربي بس فيكم ترتاحوا وتحكوا عربي إنجليزي, it's fine. So we are really amazed to have you, the four of you today, because you are investing in Lebanon despite what's happening, despite the crisis, with all the challenges that you are facing. So maybe I'll start by introducing yourselves. Sorry, I forgot. So we have Maya Brahim Shah from Beit Al Baraka. We have Olivier Gagné du Parc from Kintsugi Boutique, Boutique Hotel or guest house and restaurant. We have Eddie Noon from Beit Noon in Meshmesh. It's a guest house also opening very, very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, and we have Risha Rustom from Husk, best burger in town, and he just lately opened an Italian restaurant called Tom and Mats. So let's start by ladies first. Maya, maybe you will describe, all of you, your project and why you're in. Let's just start by the project you're doing now, and then we will see the challenges and next question. Please, Maya.
Okay, is this working?
Is it? Yes.
Okay, we started. We're investing now in a new project called Ken's Cafe, as you know, Naji. We believe very much in this project because Lebanon is going through a period of change, and we consider that this change is very positive because for the past 30 years, the identity of Lebanon has changed because of the laws that were adopted. And Lebanon has always been a country that produces food. We've been in the culinary business for 12,000 years. The first Friki plantation was 12,000 years old. So going back to these roots is what's going to change Lebanon now. And part of this is, of course, the hospitality business. So I think, as always, Lebanese people love to go out, love to have dinner, love to eat, love to entertain. And there's no excuse why new restaurants and new projects wouldn't work. And we do have these amazing facilities. We do have the weather. We do have the small geographic facilities. So I think it's very easy to develop two types of tourism. The local tourism for now, And eventually, when the situation gets better, we have to start working on a bigger scale of tourism, which is in villages, because for the past 30 years, again, tourism was concentrated in Beirut, which was not fair for the others. So I think Ken's Cafe now comes to complement all this work that is being done collectively by the civil society. And Ken's is like the cherry on top because it's one of the first high-end Mouni and Produits du Terroir restaurant in Lebanon. It's going to give an arm to all these beautiful producers in villages and rural areas, especially women, to be able to produce their food. We will help them export it. And because the restaurant we're opening, it is a multi-functional space. You have the culinary art, you have the artisans, but everything is going to be very elevated at very affordable prices.
And it's located in Surso Street, in Tabbal House, and opening in
1st of June.
1st of June.
Yes.
Thank you. Olivier?
Okay, so my project is a small boutique hotel in Mar Mikhael, Beirut. That's basically something that was right next to my new apartment. It was there and it was empty, so I decided to go and see the owner of the building to see if it was available, which it was. So I've checked the market and I've checked what I could do with it because it was a little bit, it was not destroyed, but there were some work to do due to the 1st of August explosion. But the amount of work was not so great. So I decided to go ahead and start working on a project based on this building. And for me, it was not only something that I've been wanting to do for many years, but it was also a market opportunity because there's not a lot of boutique hotels in Beirut of this size and of this, let's say, charm, because it's a small house. So there was also an opportunity because it is situated in a neighborhood that's been completely rebuilt and that is reviving after what happened 2 years ago. So this is what kept me for another amount of years in Lebanon. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
And this is expected to open this year?
It is expecting to open this year, 2022, yes.
Great.
Yeah. Spring or summer.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Eddie,
Oui.
would you tell us more about
Yes.
Beit Noon?
Beit Noon. Beit Noon is a childhood dream. We have a property in Mishmish, Jbeil. We are at 1,200 meters above sea level, and my grandfather built this house. It's on a 30,000 square meter plot, and there are many houses in this plot, many old houses. So in 2018. I had a fire on my house that started and I had to renovate. So the idea came to create something that I dreamed of with my father a long time ago and to transform it into a guest house. So we took our chances and we started doing it. Before that, we started doing agriculture investment. We produce za'atar, we produce arak, we produce wine.
So you can sell them now at Ken's?
Of course, of course. We will be selling them in the guest house as well. But we are in the process of investing a lot in agriculture. And at the same time, we thought that this guest house will provide to our clientele produce les productions du terroir. How we say in English, the production du terroir. So it's a mix of agriculture and guest house services.
How many rooms?
We will have between 10 to 12 rooms in the first phase, hoping to expand in the future to different areas because the property is quite big. We did all the infrastructure for all the rest. But the main house and its small houses around it will give 12 houses about. We have thought about, of course, we compared ourselves to other guest houses all over Lebanon, and we're proud to to provide to our clientele. Like we have a bistro, we have a pub, we have an infinity pool.
Your position on the mid-high, right? Mid-high segment?
Yes, definitely. We're trying to identify ourselves with a certain segment.
And when are you opening?
Actually, we're starting our training the next week, and hopefully we'll be open in the first week of May. Inshallah.
Bravo, thank you. Richard?
Yes. So it all started with a fundamental question. Are we going to stay here or leave? Okay, so my answer to myself was, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to quit here. So by staying here, so I should do the best of it. Having started Husk, the first brand that I'm a co-founder, it was kind of a steady operation. So I started to think about a new project. And the idea came to have an Italian-American restaurant, which is called Tom and Mott's. So why Italian-American? Because you know that the concept of Italian food is really like diverse. Even in Italy, it's different from north to center to south. And Italian-American cuisine exists in the US and people love it. And us as Lebanese consumers love this comfort food, which is not like bound to strict rules of culinary rules. So it started as a pizzeria, as a concept of pizzeria, and it has evolved to be a full Italian-American menu. It was challenging at first because the situation last summer was really hard.
Yeah, we'll get back to the challenges.
Yes, yes. It was really challenging to bring it to life, this project. But now that we are operational.
You opened last month?
We opened on December 22nd.
Wow.
So it is almost 3 months old. Thank God, for now, business is excellent. Consumer feedback is very good. We are keen on always improving our operation, always delivering the best and better. And we are keen on delivering quality products with reasonable prices. So this is our main.
Thank you. Maybe you will share with me an applause to these people, because really they deserve investing in this time and these times of turmoil in Lebanon, really.
Definitely.
So bravo. So what are your challenges? Let's discuss that. Are you crazy people? Are you very rich people? Are you, I don't know, what's happening? Why are you investing nowadays in Lebanon? What's happening? Maya, what's the reason behind this investment now? I mean, you're spending a lot of money.
Until 2019, I would have never invested $1 in Lebanon. And now is the right time. Things are changing for the best.
I agree.
I think what's coming is exactly what should have been done a long time ago.
Bravo.
And and young people want to work. There is so much talent in Lebanon, but everything was in a bubble before, and the opportunities were not equal to everyone. Today, this has changed. The bubble has burst, and young people are getting more opportunities. This is why we don't face any challenges right now. Believe it or not, opening this restaurant and this culinary center has been an amazingly easy trip compared to all the difficulties that we're having in Beit al-Baraka. Ken's has been just a very smooth and, I mean, we've been finding people and talent with no problem whatsoever because we work with young people. The more you empower youth, and the more you'll be able to achieve your goals, especially in the hospitality service.
Olivier, maybe you're the craziest because you're not even Lebanese.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's happening with you? Why are you staying in Lebanon? Why are you staying in Lebanon, and why are you investing in Lebanon?
I'm staying in Lebanon because I've been living in Lebanon for almost 20 years, and I kind of prefer it to Paris. I was about to say that the weather is nicer, but obviously not these days. So basically, I've had all my professional life here, all my professional network, and my clientele is here. So for me, it was even before the 1st of August, it was obvious that I had to stay here and try to find a new adventure. So right now, I'm building this project of the hotel. So I'm in the investing phase. which is a little bit challenging because you need to convince people to put money in a project in Lebanon. But it's going so far so good. But as Maya said, I think it's a great opportunity to give the chance to the ones that are staying to do something with their life and their country and their city, and to prove themselves that they can do something great. And as we're all entrepreneurs here, and our job is also to give this opportunity to these people to do something. And I mean, I love to share experience and to try to, you know, take someone and make something good out of it. That's what I've been doing for on a small scale, but still.
Eddie, you started the project before the crisis.
Yes.
And you chose to continue investing and continue after the explosion, the crisis, and all that.
True.
Why did you do that?
Challenges. I left Lebanon in 2017, actually. I went to Cyprus. I'm a developer. I built in Cyprus. I used to build in Lebanon. I have many projects in construction in Lebanon. I decided to leave Lebanon because I feared there was a lot of...
What year was that?
Sorry?
What year did you leave?
I left Lebanon in 2017.
Okay.
And the challenges that Maya spoke that she did not face, actually, did not face these challenges that I personally faced when I was in Cyprus. People call me, please, I want to work with you. I'm a banker. I'm a head of a branch in Lebanon, and I'm paid $200 now. I used to be, take me. I start with whatever you want. When we started hiring for Beit Noon, people were leaving Lebanon. Some of people thought
how many people did you hire?
Until now, we are maybe 23. But before that, when we started hiring and we're looking for good people, the right people, the experienced people, we felt that these people were trying to leave Lebanon. And I sit with some of them, and why are you leaving? You have an opportunity here in Beit Noon or in other businesses. Why don't you try to, you have your family here. And this helped these people stay in. Most of them, they decided to stay and to take the chance. But it was a challenge for us. It was a difficult challenge.
Yeah, but why did you decide to continue investing, opening? What was your drive to continue? I mean, despite all the events.
My drive is the local tourism. My drive is that we provide very good service. We provide a very good quality of food. We provide very good quality of hospitality. I lived outside Lebanon for many years in many countries. Nobody has the services we can provide. So we are very good in this. Instead of exporting this service, why don't we do it ourselves here? Okay. It's very simple.
Richard, are you making so much money with Husk that now you can open another concept, different concept? Why didn't you invest in Husk number 2 or number 3? Why did you choose to open a new restaurant and a new concept? Well, I mean, isn't it this risky?
Well, actually, I wanted to diversify my business portfolio. So, of course, we can do Husk 1, 2, 3. But it was a decision to do a diner here, an Italian place here, maybe next year a Lebanese place, a Lebanese restaurant, no one knows. So my approach to business is to diversify, but keeping it with the things that I know how to do. I will not go do like a Japanese place. I don't know anything about Japan. So I know Lebanon, I know the Mediterranean, I know Italy, I know Spain. So I do what I am good at. This is it.
It's very good.
So coming back to the challenges, the biggest challenge was the human resources.
You asked
Exactly. So the human resources, the experienced people fleeing the country, searching for a better salary, was the biggest challenge. So nowadays, it's very hard to have like a really solid team that are willing to be loyal to this institute that they're working for. So currently, we're searching for a certain criteria of people. As
yesterday, we had a panel about HR, and we were discussing the payment methods. Are you all paying your employees in dollars or in Lebanese liras?
We are paying in Lebanese lira, but our salaries are quite good. So our salaries are quite good. They're not enough to like survive this inflation, that we cannot meet this inflation. But I think that we are paying above market price for our employees.
So how this is how you manage to retain them?
Exactly. Of course, after like knowing which person is loyal to his work or not. So now I started to search for people, for young people, fresh graduates who are willing to stay here, but people who are willing to like work for a couple of months until they find a job abroad. I'm staying away from hiring these people.
Maya, are you hiring young people?
Only young people. Everything. People in Beit Baraka and in Cannes are both very young.
Why? Because you did not find older people?
No, we don't hire older people. We give a chance to the youth because I think it's their time now to rebuild their country. And the drive that they have is unbelievable. So even in Cannes, our executive chef is only 26. She already won an award in Italy. She's extremely creative, and now she surrounded herself with a team of very young chefs, fresh graduates, and they're doing wonders. I mean, they are the ones who created Cannes and took Cannes where it is today. The team is, I mean, they're all in their 20s, and look where Cannes is. It's thanks to them.
Eddie, you're hiring only Lebanese?
No, you will be amazed how people can be dedicated even if they don't have experience. I give you my example. In my village, Mishmish is a small village up in near Marsharbil. I hired around 15 people from Mishmish itself. So the whole village is working toward this project, and they take it at heart. They love what they are doing. Even if they don't know, they're willing to learn. And they ask every day, they please train us. I want to do. And we have already 15 people from the village that will be working for Beit.
And you paying them in lira or in dollar?
Whatever they want. Since the work will go, I don't
It's a
mind.
mix of both.
It's a mix of both, definitely. At the beginning, yes, of course.
Olivier, do you intend to hire only Lebanese? You'll be the only
I will hire I will hire people younger than me, and then I will hire Lebanese, and I will hire young people, because I think that we all need motivated people. And I'm afraid that the one with experience are going to be a little bit bitter about their past and not being able, to be really happy. Whereas the young generation is going to be very motivated to start something new and eager to learn and eager to maybe do something else, but at least we need motivation. So I think this is what's important. But I don't know if there's a lot of foreign people in town now, able to work in a small project in hospitality. And they would not work for a Lebanese salary.
And if I may add something. Yes. Oddly enough, a lot of Lebanese expats are interested to invest in Lebanon. So also, like Maya said, some people see it as crisis, some people see it as opportunities. So myself also, I saw it as an opportunity. A lot of Lebanese expats, and my partner is a Lebanese expat. He invested in Lebanon during these times, and he also shares this positive thinking and this positive vibe. So even though situation is not beautiful as we see it now, we must always surround ourselves with positive people and positive mindsets.
So where are the opportunities? You as investors, where do you see, besides your projects, where do you see the opportunities today in Beirut? Maybe you can see things that other people don't see. You see, you said Lebanese restaurant, for example.
Yes. I don't see opportunity as much as I see that if I provide a good product and a good service, the Lebanese consumer will come and pay for it. So this is my opportunity. My opportunity is not being like anyone else in the market. My opportunity is being different, is being honest in my work, and Lebanese consumers are like enough to make my business survive, at least until this crisis is over, until we have tourists flocking into Lebanon all over again. This is the opportunity that I see now.
If you want to, we learn from our mistakes as Lebanese people. I think the opportunities we have today and we have to face is industry. We invest in our own industry. We do our own industry, agriculture. We have beautiful land. We have the soil of our land is one of the best soil in the world. People came from France to look at the wineries, and they spotted many pieces of lands that are not being used, are heritage, unused lands. And they know for a fact that this land can produce you and can give you. And I definitely believe invest in agriculture, invest in services, invest in, and of course. Yeah.
Maya, I'm sure you have a lot to say.
I believe in the agro industry. I think what led Lebanon to this crisis is the decision taken back in the 90s to remove the subsidies from agriculture. For whatever reason at the time, we don't care, but they turned the DNA of Lebanon into from an agro-producing country into a country of real estate and banking, and look what happened. We have to go back to our natural identity. It's our DNA. You have to buy a product and look at any local product. You have to look at the ingredients, and you have to stop seeing that lentils are imported from Turkey and that carrots are imported from Belgium. This is not allowed anymore. You have a carbon footprint count today. The planet counts carbon footprint. How can you justify a local product, a local brand, importing its ingredients from the farthest places in the world? So this is the opportunity for Lebanon today, is to start being a sustainable agricultural model, because we have no excuse whatsoever.
And we have all the means.
Yeah.
White gold.
Here, the forum here is full of local products.
I can see that. Yes, I saw that.
I've been working in
Olivier.
nightlife before being in the hotel industry, and as you have seen, like for the past 2 years, there's been a huge amount of local alcohol being produced, like gin, vodka, whiskey, that was not existing before. But because the prices of alcohol was getting much too high, then the guys decided that yalla, let's do some local gin and vodka and whiskey. You have one here. So there's also, I mean, opportunities are everywhere actually, because I think that the Lebanese from birth is an entrepreneur. He wants to do something on his own, and he wants to show the world is the best. So it's very easy to find ideas, and crisis open up doors, of course.
Do you have other projects? Do you think you have, Eddie? Are you still investing in projects besides this one, Beit Noon?
Of course, definitely. I have another project I cannot speak about yet. That is in the services and dans l'hôtellerie, si tu veux. And I'm investing my life in the winery, in the agriculture, and the winery. In Mishmish, not in Beit Mishmish, but in the lands that are owned by the church, the Waqf, that I can rent. I invested already in 20,000 square meters in Thim, dans du Thym, dans le Za'atar. Now I took another land for cherry trees, olive trees. I will be producing the olive oil. I will have the Arab, sabun Arabi, the soap, the Arabic soap. We will be doing like the confiture, all kinds of marmalades, شو confiture بالإنجليزي؟ Jams. So I'm very focused on this because I believe it myself and I love it. You have to like what you're doing, and I'm really invested in this. Plus my usual business in development. Unfortunately, I'm not developing in Lebanon for the time being. I'm engaged in different other areas, but hopefully things will go back to its normal pace.
Richard, how easy it is to find the location today? Do we have plenty of empty locations for restaurants? What will help you find another opportunity or what will convince you also to open the Lebanese project?
Well, finding locations now is easier than before. And you can find easily a vacant location for rent in Beirut, in Matan, wherever you want, because unfortunately, a lot of shops have closed down. What drives me to open a new concept is what I'm seeing from Husk or Tom & Nuts, and what I'm gaining from these two brands. So these two businesses really drive me to open more concepts. Actually, now we are discussing with my partners to invest our profits into this new project. So maybe we will not distribute any profits for the first year in order to fund this additional project. So we are really convinced that the food and beverage industry in Lebanon is really good. If you work good, if you're honest with your customer, you can work, you can sell, you can do a profitable businesses. So the drive for me is my existing business. I cannot say anything more. And knowing that this crisis will not last too long, in my opinion, in my analysis. So I think we're at the end of this crisis we're living now.
Hopefully. Olivier, how did you find this opportunity? I mean, were you looking for a guest house or a restaurant bar? Is it an opportunity that came to you, or you had this idea that you wanted to implement? How did it all start?
I was living next to the place and I saw it, and I wondered what was happening with it, because I knew the ex-tenants. So I called them and I asked them, what are you going to do with it? And they told me, we left it. So basically I called the owner. At the beginning, I wanted just to do a restaurant and bar on the ground floor. But the owner told me, no, I want to rent the whole building. So I looked it up and I decided to go for the hotel, because anyway, it was more interesting. Because a hotel is a way to...
So an opportunity.
Yeah, but let's say I created it. But because it was an empty space.
How are you dealing with the money, the banks? How are you paying your contracting? How are you paying your, how do you do?
Bags like this, bags of cash. It's really hectic to manage cash nowadays, because we have become a cash economy, unfortunately. It's not our fault. We're not the ones to blame if we're charging cash and we're not accepting cards, because it's not our fault as a restaurant. So that's it. So
that you told me as Beit Noon, for example, for the contracting and the development, you had so it was a hassle to do that.
It's a different way of dealing with a contractor. I'm a contractor myself outside Lebanon. I'm a developer and I do this. But in Lebanon, it's quite difficult because you have to arrange ways of paying the contractor, the subcontractor, the material that you're buying, because I went into a whole process of renovation. So everything from electromechanical to architectural and painting and everything. So partial payment in cash, partial payment in checks. It was a very difficult situation, very hard, but here we go. We're on à la fini.
Maya, maybe you did not tell us enough about the NGO that you are managing, Beit al-Baraka, and what's the link between Beit al-Baraka and Kanz?
Kanz. When Beit al-Baraka was repairing houses after the explosion, someone donated funds to repair the Tabal building because they know the owners and they couldn't repair it themselves. So we made an agreement with the owners. We would repair the building, and in return, they would give us the ground floor and the terrace so that we can use them. And consequently, the idea started developing. And we said, why don't we take all these Moune products, because we are producing high-end Moune. And we believe a lot in the concept of your own product leading your entire country. You can be financially very comfortable if you just have a vision of how to develop one product. Peru started with the quinoa. Quinoa it's another protein source of protein. It's nothing more important than lentils. It's just about marketing and vision. They took quinoa from the lands of Peru and sold it all over the planet. You have millions of people around the planet who want to eat za'atar. And I think only with za'atar and the kharoub, if you have a proper marketing strategy on a governmental level, you cannot enrich just your country, you can enrich the entire region. So this is one of the things that Beit al-Baraka does. It's find alternative ways for families to be able to become sustainable. And gradually the link between Kanz and Beit al-Baraka was set around the food industry. And so we started empowering people with the products that they produce, and at the same time giving them an arm to be able to export it. Now we have some very bad decisions, unfortunately, that the government is taking about export, but we'll soon be rid of these bad decision makers. So I mean, we try to find solutions, and every time we find solutions, somebody comes and blocks it, but it's fine, it's gonna pass. So I think this is the only way for people like all the people here who work in the agro industry to take this country to a whole different level, because the vision of Lebanon has to be based on its produce. One of our collaborators here is standing in front of me, for example, Solar. I mean, the oil he has, the olive oil he has, is one of the best in the world. If only this person has enough influence to drag the entire olive oil producers in Lebanon, you would take the country to another level in terms of export. You have so much talent. I mean, I'm just looking here and look at this talent. You look on the other side, you have someone else creating something unbelievable, but you just need support. You need people, decision makers with a vision, who know where to take your country and the products that you have.
Congratulations, really, the four of you. I'd like to take some questions from the audience.
I don't have a question, but I have a big thank you to say to you, because really, thank you all for the good vibes and for the positive vibes and for giving us hope in this country. We need so much, and I think really it's been really we need so thank you.
I second Noor.
Someone has a question? Jumana? Please.
You're an NGO investing in food and beverage.
Kanz is not an NGO.
قرب الميكرو, please.
I'm just related. You're an NGO investing in a restaurant.
No,
Please.
Beit al-Baraka is an NGO. Kanz is a social enterprise.
So it's a profitable business.
And all its profits have to go to Beit al-Baraka. So whatever you're going to come eat or buy in Kanz is going to sustain Beit al-Baraka. It's a non-profit.
What do you think about private entrepreneurs or personal entrepreneurs? Do you know, do you think there is a possibility for young entrepreneurs at the moment in Lebanon who are not backed up either by NGOs either by investors or either by other businesses?
They should invest now. They should. Whoever has a little
We
bit
have
of
someone
money
behind
now.
you.
Yeah.
Did an investment by herself.
Was it successful? Do you think it's a good? You know, because a tech has very tech or has incubators. Food and beverage and the hospitality, I've never seen, to my knowledge, anyone incubating entrepreneurs in Lebanon in that sector. This is what I mean. Would you think maybe it's the time to do that? Either investors or NGOs?
I did not get the question exactly. You want an incubator for investor, for restaurants only? It's a nice idea. I mean, you could propose that, but you need the investment. So Richard is one of them. Richard found a partner in outside, an expatriate, and they invested in Tom and Mats.
Exactly.
Eddie Noon is an investor. He invested himself in Eddie Noon, in Beit Noon. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. You should explore that with other maybe funds. You have some in Lebanon. Maybe the syndicate. Talk to the syndicate of restaurateur. Thank you. Yes.
So hello, my name is Sumaya, and I'm the owner of Taka Snacks. It's a cookie and a ma'amoul and an energy bar bakery in Lebanon. And just to answer your question, there are a lot of people investing in entrepreneurs and in F&B in Lebanon. So you're in a good and fertile ground to find investors. My question is to Maya, mostly because I admire you as a woman and everything that you have done. But I have a question to you specifically about focus, because one of the things that I have done is I've consistently focused since 2016 on I do healthy snacks in Lebanon, and I have successfully sold them in the domestic market and in the export markets. Today, as Beit El Baraka, which I extremely admire, you have diversified your portfolio as a NGO into the academic world, education, infrastructure and rebuilding after the explosion, social insurance for the Shaykhuha, which is something that I have the utmost respect for you, and now developing cans. How do you, as an owner of an NGO, have the ability to diversify and to succeed in all these different domains, seeing that I am today very conservative? I'm someone that's very conservative. I do not take too much risk with the crisis. And so please, if you can share a little bit.
Actually, it started, first we started before the revolution, 6 months before, just offering services to the elderly. But then when the revolution started, we started adapting. So everything that we were doing up until recently is just adapting to new crises. It can be the lockdown that hit people enormously. It can be the COVID outbreak with people not being able to sustain themselves medically. Currently, the financial situation that is putting at risk also all these students who, because 70% of Lebanese students are in private schools. So the focus is on the Lebanese family. And this is what we do. We always keep, and when you come to our office, you will understand it, because all the pictures that we have on the walls, and God knows we have a lot of pictures, they're all about the Lebanese family. So how do you empower this family? You give them food, you give them a pharmacy, medicine, you give them a house, especially for the elderly. And the most important is you give them the ability to sustain themselves so that they don't need you eventually, because Beit al-Baraka and all the NGOs in Lebanon are in a transitory phase. We should all keep in mind that no NGO should stay functioning once you have a proper government. We should shut down and then go do something else. We can be an NGO, but for animal rights, for something a bit more normal. So this is our focus. It's just the Lebanese family and everything that keeps the Lebanese family safe. So CANS was like just the way to empower these, especially these women in rural areas, but it's always under the umbrella of sustaining the Lebanese family.
Someone else? Question? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Olivier, Maya, Eddie, and Richard.
Thank you, Naji.